Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, nobody asked me to chime in on this, so maybe I shouldn't, you know what I mean? But y'all know here, you know, it's not a big channel. I don't like to mention names of uploaders and stuff like that. That's just not how I roll. For the obvious reasons, you don't want to put names and stuff because, you know, you just don't want to do that because you're not trying to get no props from mentioning names from somebody else or vice versa. You know, you let it just roll. But, you know, in New Russia right now, we have a little civil war amongst black boxing uploaders, right? Only thing I did say is, hey, you know, some of these people who basically have sold their soul, for lack of a better term, for clicks or whatever, you're mentioning their names, giving them more, you know, more popularity than they deserve, right? That's the only thing I would say to that. But be that as it may, you know, what's really sad about it, you know, you're going to have different opinions amongst people, no matter what color or whatever. You ain't got to agree with everything your brother says, you know what I'm saying? But me, you guys know how I feel about New Russia, right? And, you know, some people are like, why are you calling New Russia and this and that? Listen, man, the things that are happening right in front of your face, right in front of your face, there's no discretion about this anymore. People are just coming right in front of your face. And you can't scroll out and register what it is and understand to act accordingly to make sure that they know that you know. You know, that for me, that's just kind of spineless, but it's kind of, I call it house nig or whatever. You know, it's spineless behavior, and it's just not the time to be having a civil war amongst yourselves or ourselves right now. Just really, it just sends the false message to these fools, and it's like, yeah, we can continue to do this. When you have people running around with Confederate flags, terrorists running around with Confederate flags on January 6th, that was a terrorist act. They're called tourists. They're running amongst people in New Russia. You got Confederate statues that people are fighting to keep. Confederate statues, right? That they want to keep. Right in front of your face. That should be something that you should be outraged about, right? And at the same thing, anytime you want to do something, you know what I'm saying, anytime you have an issue, no one gives a damn about. This is happening right in front of your face. You have boxers that are you know, doped against fighters of color, and no one gives a damn. And we got people dying in Japan, but I'm gonna do an extra video about that. Because dope fighters, you know, should be taboo, and we should all hate it. So with all of these things going on, and I haven't seen, you know, you got people that you're seeing because of white supremacy or just power that are looking past all kind of discretions, all kind of false behavior. And when I say racism trumps everything else, pun intended, I mean that. Because you're watching it. No one cares. No one cares about decorum, the rule of law, the Constitution. They're even, right as we speak, looking past pedophilia. Obvious transgressions with pedophilia. That means we're messing with people's kids. And we're going to look past that like with a Catholic church or something, where they just get transferred instead of put in jail, right? These people, we're giving, damn near about to give pardons, won't open up the files so people can see what the hell is going on. And we're talking about pedophilia here. We can't even agree on that. The reason is white supremacy and power. So we're going to continue to look past all of that. In front of your face is what I'm saying. This is not something that people are hiding. This is happening right in front of your face. And the message that we got time right now to argue amongst ourselves about stuff. And why I'm saying that is because you're talking about every time there's boxers of color that are doing exceptional things, exceptional, You got a problem with Terrence Crawford. I was just broke. I didn't even look at people's videos after that. You got a problem with Terrence Crawford. Okay, when it was Errol Spence and there was a little bit of a, a problem there, you going for one instead of the other, whatever. But to this extent where you got something, you constantly talking about Terrence Crawford stuff, and you got no positive videos about Terrence Crawford. You literally can't do something about Terrence Crawford, somebody who we've been watching, that's been doing it how it's supposed to be done, and not getting racially profiled, racially discriminated against. We got an obvious best fighter that's been in the pound for pound, and they just keep playing musical chairs with somebody in front of them that they know can't beat them for 10 years now, and they see us doing stuff against it, right? Right in front of your face. For them, that's just laughable. They go back and say, boy, these motherfuckers, shoot. Hey, shoot. Samuel Jackson's rolling and Django Unchained ain't got nothing on these brothers, right? If you want to call them brothers. That's the kind of stuff that's going on right now. And Devin Haney, getting cheated. Brothers doing videos about Ryan Garcia. Nothing bad about this dude. Devin Haney, he just a little bit of stuff in his system, but talking about boxing every day. You know what? I know it shouldn't be mirrors in your house. Because you can't walk through a mirror and be happy about yourself. I don't give a damn what absence or whatever sends you every month. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so what it does is sends a message to the supremacist that you don't have a soul or integrity. So that's why for me, it's just sad. You know what I'm saying? It's sad to know we're still on that level with the things that are going on right now in front of your face. Now, under normal times when we used to think that our government cared about the rule of law, the government we cared about people that are running the country, that they had decorum, and at least their heart is in the right spot. Things that we thought, we were naive to believe that these things were going on. We know right now no one is even trying to obey the law. No one, anybody in power right now has a background of any of the jobs they have, other than we've been saying ridiculous stuff on tape, and the president right now loves that. So we get a job doing something we don't know no damn thing about. And we're all okay with that. I'm telling you, it bothers me so much. When I see brothers sing, I done told you, just singing the national anthem with everything you got, right? And you're watching people with Confederate flags standing next to somebody who would rather enslave your ass. For me, that's hard to watch, right? And that's why I don't, because it's embarrassing. So the message we sending around the world for black people, but we got energy against each other. We'll argue our ass off against each other. Against each other, we got a whole lot of energy going on. You know what I'm saying? Still got gangs and stuff. Black people against black people with all this stuff going on. So, I ain't gonna be saying nobody's name. You know what I mean? People gotta understand what they do, because these are grown ass people. But it just shows that, sometimes you just got to scroll out of the situation you're dealing with at your home in New Russia, right? You gotta scroll out, man. Right now is not the time for that, what you're doing. I ain't gonna call you no names or whatever other than house league, but you got to deal with that yourself. Hope you guys can get it together, because it's all really one community. We're gonna disagree. Grown ass men, we got weird opinions. But at some point, here's my boy. What up, boo? At some point, you got to have a little bit of respect for yourself, right? If you want somebody else to respect you, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people. I respect everybody, with my opinion and whatnot. If you bring truth to the people, to the masses, I'm down with you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to agree with me every damn time. I got some funny ass opinions, but I'm gonna tell you what my opinion is gonna be. It's gonna be justice, and I sure ain't gonna be going against no brothers. You know what I'm saying? Period. That ain't got nothing to do with YouTube or nothing else. That's since I've been boring. You know what I'm saying? So y'all get it together, man. I hate to come with this one right here. This ain't nothing really too much about boxing. It's just about, hey, man, let's get it together. Let's get our integrity up, man. The world is watching, guys. The world is watching. So anyway, Dome Sports Talk. Worldwide. I'm going to continue to enjoy my day. And I'm up out of here, y'all.